All right, hi viewers, back checking out my channel. Don't mind all my pets. My house is full of different pets. I got my snake Leo, my hypo on me today, and it's good to play with your animals and have them out and entertain them. So while I do things like work on my bike, work on my computer, do different things in the house, I try to have my different pets out with me, and my dog's always out. But today, the point of the video is I went ahead and purchased my rear shock, my KKE updated 2024 shock. As far as the internals and everything about the shock, I don't know yet. I haven't installed it, but I'm going to take a closer look at it today and compare it to my Fastace shock, which I have off the bike. And it's right here. Here's my previous Fastace model, just to share that with you, the BDA53RC. Pretty substantial, pretty heavy shock. I mean, when you pick these up, I mean, it's got some weight to it. So I'm going to compare that directly to you on the camera to the KKE, because they are similar in some ways and they are a little bit different. So I don't know if that's going to be, you know, a substantial, little medium performance, you know, a little medium grade upgrade, or, you know, a substantial upgrade. But we're going to dive in this together, and I'm going to share my information with you. So I got this in the box. I've got the KKE 2024 kind of a bronze colored forks, and I'm very, very happy with these. And I have two previous videos out, 2 or 3 on the shocks. But I ordered these from another company and paid tax and shipping and paid probably $50 more than I should have. And you can order this stuff directly from KKE, their distributor in California. And it comes in a box like that, and my forks came in a box very similar to that, but elongated. And from the best I know, I didn't pay shipping or tax on that shock absorber. And that shock absorber, we're going to open it up. It comes with 3 springs and the shock. So let me just share it with you while I've got you here in the intro of the video. This is not going to be in the regards of, you know, a high performance aftermarket probably shock. I mean, it could be very, very good. I just don't know yet. The next option to buy a shock is from a company that I have online, that I buy some things from, an electric e-bike, you know, a centralized company that deals with a lot of e-bike stuff. They sell a lot of the things I buy and have, you know, a pretty good reach of different components that if you want to buy from them. But the next shock upgrade is about $550, and that's quite a bit more than that $249. And then even a greater upgrade in the shock is going to be around $750. And then I'm sure they have $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 shocks too. That's just something that I personally don't want to have. I don't have budgeted for, and I don't necessarily, with the type of riding that I do, are going to need a $700 to $1,200 fork. To buy these are probably, you know, $300 or $400 to replace this, because if you watch my previous video, this shock blew out and it started leaking oil and fluid out of the bottom of the shock, and then it pretty much lost all its rebound and its compression dampening. So this shock, you know, someone can probably rebuild it and reuse it. It's still a great shock. It's in perfect condition. There's no scratches or wear marks on it. I just don't have the availability to fix this and replace it, and I don't know of anywhere locally that I could take this. And the bicycle shops would just be like, Surron, get out of here. We don't need your business. So I don't know, you know, I'd have to ship this off and get it worked on. And, you know, it's a possibility for the future. But I'm going to deal with this KKE new shock absorber, rear shock. And like I said, it comes with 3 total springs, so you can have some adjustment in if you're a 300-pound person or a 200-pound person or a 120-pound person. So it comes with those springs, which is a neat option because the springs are about $55, and then you've got probably $10 shipping on that. So it comes with all the springs, and it's bronze gold colored, just like the front forks, and so it'll match the front forks and look really good. I kind of like the black with this copper bronze gold look. I think it looks really stellar, and I'm really pleased with it. So enough talking, and I'm going to get in. I'm going to put this beautiful hypo boa up and dive into the shock. Here is the KKE shock, which I mentioned in videos possibly getting. Just basically before I even going to go out on me. I just like the gold, but I'm not the kind of person that just buys parts based on, typically on looks. And that's another thing I just want to mention really quickly. These trick aluminum parts that you can buy, suspension components that are, different colored. That's purely basically what you're getting. This piece here, which is part of the suspension on the Surron, is so light. And if you're bending suspension parts and you need this to be stronger, you're doing something that most people are never going to do. You're jumping this 100 feet off of a building and landing flat to the ground. I highly doubt, now I'm not going to say, never, but you're bending your suspension components and you need, the lever, the suspension linkage, that you're needing something more heavy duty than this. This is made like this because it's very light. This is almost like the weight of a socket. It's very light. It doesn't need to be any bigger, any more bulky. It's just that it's black and it's not red or gold colored or blue or whatever colors they're being offered in. So I just wanted to mention that. This is a pretty neat little piece that Surron has made. And I'm pretty blown away, that these little e-bikes have stuff that's really lightweight and it functions very well. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay, back to the shock. This is how it comes. This is my Fastace. I'm going to set this aside real quick because we know what that looks like. This is how it comes. It comes in a really nice foam packaging to protect it. This is the shock, and I will say this is, compared to this one right here, it's a little smaller in diameter, but it is lighter weight. So you can look at that as heavier duty, heavier, lighter weight, not as durable. That's one way you could look at that. But just like in previous videos where I compared the Fastace front fork and the KKE front fork, the KKE is a little smaller in diameter and just overall bulk, a little less, but it's also less weight, and the performance is there in the shock. I'm guessing that this is going to be a high performance shock, but I just wanted to mention that this is probably a pound lighter than this. You can feel the weight difference with the KKE versus the Fastace rear shock. So just take that for worth mentioning. And I'll show you the differences between the shocks. They're similar, but they're different. But I just wanted to show you that. High quality piece, all aluminum, very nice piece. You're not going to go wrong with getting that for $250. If you didn't get the spring option, you could probably take $100 off the price. But it comes with, and who wants this is the 650-pound spring. It's purple. I guess that's kind of a purple color. That wouldn't go with anything, but if you're a 300-pound person, that is the spring you're going to want to use. This is the 550-pound spring versus the 450-pound spring that comes on the shock. So thicker coils, heavier duty spring. That's what I'm probably going to have to install on here. And that's not tough to do, difficult to do. You can YouTube a video on how to replace the spring on your shock. It's basically just removing, backing this all the way off so you can get some play upwards, and just removing this bottom plate and then this spring will typically just come off the end, and then you put the new one on and put the plate back in, and then tighten it down, the preload on the spring. So that's the long story made short. So actually very, very cool. So this is what you get in the box. You get the shock absorber with the 450 pound spring installed, the 550 and the 650 pound spring. All right, well, I got you here just easy enough. I mean, this was compressed down, but when it's not under load on the bike, you should be able to grab the spring and the adjustment ring collar right there and just turn that off. See now that the spring is getting loose. So just back this all the way off. I guess I call that a spring tension collar. You can move your spring up, remove the base plate, and putting the other one on might be a little bit more tricky. Just real quick, one thing I noticed, you need to turn this knob all the way in. That looks like that's the, I can't see without my glasses on, compression or rebound. Turn that all the way in so that the screw goes down, and then you can take your spring off so you don't tear that up trying to force your spring off. All right, here is the spring back on. See how it's loose right here? Just put the rear base plate on, and then screw this down. Sorry, out of the video. Make sure your base plate is centered. Screw that on again. Yes, make sure your base plate is centered on there. And if you really want to lower your preload down, you might have to put this in a vise. They sell a tool that'll rack onto that, and you can turn that, or you can use a screwdriver, but the screwdriver is going to booger up this aluminum. If you don't care about the look of it, you know, and that doesn't bother you, then you can just use a pretty good driver of some sort and knock that around. It takes a long time because you got to hit it, and come back to the next one, come back to the next one, and it takes a long time to get that down. But with it off the bike, you can come in and sometimes turn that down quite a bit. By turning the spring and holding the collar. Hopefully this is helpful. I don't think I'm going to need a lot of preload on this because I'm about, again, 195, 200 pounds, and this spring should be pretty good for my weight. Again, having that spanner tool, I guess is what they call it, the teeth fit in there and you can turn that and it doesn't booger it up as bad. But there, I'm pretty much good. I got everything installed back on the bike. Few curse words. It's got to be done in a very specific process. Maybe exactly the same how it comes apart, I can't remember. But you're gonna mount stuff on there, and then you're gonna find out you have to take it all off and do it in a different sequence. And keep track of your bolts. The nuts are all the same. But it's back on. So I just rode it really quickly, and it seems really springy. I had to go back in and look. The compression is on the top and the rebound is on the bottom, and there, I just don't know. There's not a lot of rebound adjustment, so I've got to play with it. Maybe I got to break the shock in. I've turned it both directions. I think there's maybe like 6 clicks, but I just don't know if it's just enough. If there's not enough, it'll suck. But if I can tune it to where it's not springy and bouncy because it's a heavier spring, then it'll be great. It feels more motorcycle-ish right now with a heavier spring on it and the better front forks. It feels definitely more substantial machine rather than a toy with the upgraded shock with the heavier spring and the heavier spring in the front forks. So that's my initial. You're going to have to tune in to future videos to see, because I'm going to have to ride it and test it and play around, because there's a lot more adjustment and trying to get them to work with the front forks and the rear shock work together. I think the gold or the bronze or the gold, whatever color you want to call that, it matches the front. I think it looks really good on the black bike. This color, I took the sticker off, so there's a little bit more coloration. I think it looks really, really good. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But thanks for tuning in again. As I always say, check out more videos as they come, and appreciate you watching today, and have a great afternoon. All right, bye-bye.